The discomfort. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. If your job disappeared tomorrow, would your life collapse? Not emotionally, financially, because that answer tells you everything. Most people don't work jobs. They survive inside systems they're afraid to question. They wake up tired. They commute half awake. They spend their best hours making someone else richer. And at night, they tell themselves, at least it's stable. That sentence is the trap. This isn't about laziness. This isn't about ambition. This is about psychology. And once you see it, you won't be able to unseen it. How the job trap actually starts. Nobody falls into the job trap overnight. It starts innocently. You're young, you need money, you want independence, so you take a job. At first, it feels good. A salary, a routine, a sense of belonging. Your brain loves this phase. Why? Because the human brain is wired to seek certainty, not freedom. A fixed paycheck feels like safety. A predictable routine feels like control. But here's what no one tells you. The brain confuses predictability with security, and that confusion is expensive. Slowly, responsibilities stack up. Rent, bills, family expectations, social pressure. Your lifestyle rises exactly to match your income, not below it, not above it, exactly. And now, without realizing it, you've crossed a psychological line. You no longer work because you choose to. You work because you're afraid to stop. That's the moment the job stops being a job. It becomes a trap. Why smart people stay stuck. Here's the most dangerous lie about the job trap. Only unmotivated people get stuck. That's false. The people most trapped are often intelligent, responsible, hardworking, conscientious. Because these traits make you reliable, and reliability is rewarded with more responsibility, not freedom. You become valuable in the system, which sounds good until you realize what valuable actually means. Harder to replace, harder to promote, harder to let go. The system doesn't want you free. It wants you dependent. So it rewards obedience, not independence. And slowly, something subtle happens inside your mind. You stop thinking in years. You start thinking in months. You stop asking, is this life aligned with who I am? And start asking, can I survive until Friday? That's not adulthood. That's psychological captivity. The salary illusion. Let's talk about money, because this is where the trap tightens. Every raise feels like progress, but here's the truth. Most raises don't increase freedom, they increase comfort inside the cage. You upgrade your phone, your car, your apartment, and now quitting feels irresponsible. Not because you can't survive, but because you've trained yourself not to. This is called lifestyle anchoring. Your nervous system adapts to a certain level of comfort and starts panicking at the idea of losing it. So when you think about leaving, your brain doesn't ask, is this job fulfilling? It asks, what if I lose everything? That fear keeps you compliant, and compliance is the currency of the job trap. Why the 9-to-5 drains your identity. Here's something darker. The job trap doesn't just take time, it takes identity. At first you say, I work as. Then quietly, I am. Your job becomes your self-worth. So when work feels meaningless, you feel meaningless. When your boss ignores you, you feel invisible. When the system undervalues you, you internalize it. This is why people feel exhausted even on weekends, not because of physical work, but because their sense of self is constantly under pressure. They're acting roles that don't match who they are. And the human psyche hates living out of alignment. That's why burnout happens, not from effort, from suppression. The invisible contract you never signed. Here's the unspoken deal most people unknowingly accept. I will trade my time, energy, and attention in exchange for the illusion of safety. But the contract has fine print. Your time is capped. Your income is capped. Your growth is conditional. Your value is decided by someone else. And the longer you stay, the more normal this feels. That's the most dangerous part. The trap doesn't feel like pain. It feels like normal life. And anything that feels normal doesn't trigger escape instincts. Why most people never leave. People don't stay because they love their jobs. They stay because of fear of uncertainty, fear of judgment, fear of temporary discomfort. The brain prefers a familiar misery over an unfamiliar possibility. So people say, maybe next year, after this promotion, once things stabilize. But here's the brutal truth. Stability inside a system designed to limit you is not stability. It's stagnation disguised as safety. And the time doesn't free you, it deepens the trap. The moment of awareness. This video is not telling you to quit your job. That would be irresponsible. This is about seeing clearly, because awareness changes how the trap works. Once you understand how dependency is created, how fear is reinforced, how identity is slowly replaced, you stop blaming yourself. You stop feeling broken, and you start asking better questions. Questions like, how can I reduce dependency? How can I regain leverage? How can I build options quietly? That's where real power begins, not rebellion, preparation. What freedom actually looks like. Freedom is not quitting tomorrow. Freedom is having options. Options remove fear. Fear removes obedience. Obedience removes growth. This channel exists for one reason: to help you understand the psychological systems you live inside so you can stop being unconsciously controlled by them. Not with motivation, not with fantasies, but with clarity. If this made you uncomfortable, good. Discomfort means something important just surfaced. If you've ever felt stuck, anxious, or quietly resentful at work, you're not weak, you're aware. And awareness is the beginning of escape. Subscribe, not for motivation, not for hype, but for the psychology nobody warned you about.